What is the real business of the presidents of the world's major powers? Here's a question nobody asks out loud. The US president earns $400,000 a year. The French president takes home around $194,000. Even the most powerful leaders on earth are, on paper, government employees with a salary. So how does a man enter the White House middle class and leave worth hundreds of millions? That's what we're talking about today. The salary is never the point. Let's be honest. No one becomes president for the paycheck. The salary is almost irrelevant. It's symbolic. What actually changes the moment someone takes office isn't their bank account. It's their access. And access at that level is worth far more than any salary ever could be. When you are president, every phone call gets answered. Every door opens. Every business leader, investor, and billionaire on the planet suddenly wants to know you, impress you, and more importantly, do business with you. The presidency doesn't make you rich directly. It positions you to become rich. And that positioning lasts long after you leave office. If this is the kind of content that makes you think differently, hit subscribe. Because this is just the beginning. The business before the office. The smartest presidents don't wait until they leave office to build wealth. They come in already knowing the game. Take Donald Trump. Before he ever stepped into the Oval Office, he had already built a global empire around one asset: his name. Real estate, hotels, golf courses, international licensing deals. His brand was the business. The presidency didn't create that, it amplified it on a scale no marketing budget could ever buy. Overnight, the Trump name became one of the most recognized brands on earth. Love him or hate him, that's a financial reality. Then there's Emmanuel Macron. Before the Élysée Palace, he was an investment banker at Rothschild and CA, one of the most prestigious financial institutions in the world. He wasn't just familiar with high finance, he was trained in it. He knew how capital moves, how deals are structured, and how wealth is built at the highest levels. When Macron became president, he didn't leave that world behind. He brought it with him. These men understood something most people don't. The real business isn't the office. The office is the platform. The machinery that runs behind the title. Here's where it gets interesting. Behind every major world leader is a network. Investors, entrepreneurs, financial institutions, and private interests that supported their rise. And in business, when someone supports your rise, they expect access in return. Not necessarily corruption. Not necessarily illegal, just the oldest principle in commerce. Relationships create opportunity. When a president signs a major infrastructure deal, certain construction companies win contracts. When trade agreements are negotiated, specific industries gain advantages. When defense budgets increase, particular manufacturers see their revenues double overnight. None of this requires a president to do anything dishonest. The system is simply designed so that those closest to power profit most from the decisions power makes. Vladimir Putin understood this better than almost anyone. Russia's most valuable assets aren't its military or its geography. They're its energy reserves, oil, natural gas, the pipelines that run across continents. Putin positioned himself not as a politician managing these resources, but as the gatekeeper of them. Entire economies in Europe became dependent on Russian energy. And gatekeepers in any industry always extract value from what flows through their hands. Xi Jinping took a different approach entirely. In China, the line between the state and private enterprise doesn't really exist. The government is the largest shareholder in the country's most valuable companies. Xi doesn't need personal investments when the entire Chinese economy operates as one integrated system under his oversight. The wealth isn't personal, it's structural. And structural wealth at that scale is the most powerful kind. The real payday after the office. If you think the presidency is where the money is made, you're looking at the wrong chapter. The real payday comes after. Barack Obama left the White House in 2017 with a net worth of around $1.3 million. Respectable, but not remarkable. Within just a few years of leaving office, that number had grown to an estimated $70 million. Book deals worth $65 million. Netflix production partnerships, speaking fees of $400,000 per appearance. Ironically, exactly what his annual presidential salary used to be, now earned in a single hour. George W. Bush quietly built a portfolio of speaking engagements and investments after leaving office. Tony Blair, the former British Prime Minister, built a consulting empire reportedly worth over $90 million within a decade of leaving Downing Street. He advised governments, sovereign wealth funds, and corporations across the globe. The pattern is always the same. You spend years in office building relationships, credibility, and inside knowledge of how the world actually works. Then you monetize it. The presidency is the investment. Everything after is the return. What they know that you don't. Here's the uncomfortable truth that sits at the heart of all of this. World leaders operate with a level of financial and economic information that the public never sees. They know which industries are about to receive government investment. They understand which international relationships are shifting before markets do. They see the direction of policy before it's announced. This isn't insider trading in the legal sense, but it is insider knowledge in every practical sense. When you understand where money is going before everyone else does, you don't need luck to build wealth. You just need the right relationships and the patience to let the pieces fall into place. The presidency, at its core, is a masterclass in how the world's financial system actually operates. And the people who go through it come out the other side with a level of understanding and a network that money simply cannot buy. So, what is the real business of presidents? It's not governance, that's the job. The real business is leverage. The leverage of a name, a network, a reputation, and a Rolodex of the most powerful people on Earth. It's the book deal that sells millions because the world is curious what you know. It's the speaking circuit where corporations pay small fortunes to have you in the room. It's the board seats, the advisory roles, the consulting contracts, and the investment opportunities that only appear when you've held the most powerful office on Earth. Being president doesn't make you a millionaire, but knowing how to play what comes after it, that's where the real wealth is built. And the smartest ones figured that out long before they ever took the oath. If this opens your eyes to how wealth and power actually work, subscribe for more content that goes beyond the surface. And comment below, which president do you think played the game the smartest? Thanks for watching.